Good morning! A new month, a new challenge on Abstract Challenge on Tumblr. So abstract-challenge.tumblr.com. And it's February 2019, and in this month's challenge is about abstract minimal photography or minimal abstract photography. However you want to approach this, right? Because we're flexible. And if you want to see how my face looked like when I read this topic before I made this video, then this is it. So I had no idea what abstract minimal photography is or how it could look like. And I had even less of an idea how what minimal abstract photography is or how it could look like. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about abstract minimal photography in this video. I'll try to keep it short, and I also try to put some pictures in that I made for this challenge. So yeah, let's start, right? But first, coffee. My name is Pete. I like pictures. Have fun. So we're already in Lightroom. These are 22 of the photos that I made for this challenge, and I will talk about some of these photos. This is selected 22 photos that I made for this challenge. But let's talk a bit about abstract photography. What is abstract photography? If we do a bit of research on the subject, we will find tons and tons of information. What I distilled from what I read, abstract photography is photography that goes beyond the, let's call it, object reality. So the goal is not to depict an object or a subject or a person, something objective, but it's rather being experimental, finding the shapes, the patterns, doing something in some way to get away from the objective reality. So what I did for this challenge, and of course this is not what you need to do, this is not the challenge. The challenge is minimal abstract photography. But what I did was to do a variant of the bathroom challenge, in case you heard of it. The bathroom challenge is a quite well-known challenge in the photography world. At least I heard about it and read about it a couple of times, and I actually redid it in the way how it was meant to be, meaning take a camera, lock yourself in your own bathroom, but of course you can do it in the living room or in the kitchen or wherever, and take 100 unique photos. And I did that. I didn't do it this time because I'd have to limit myself, or I don't know if I could have taken 100 different minimal photos in my bathroom. But what I did was to go into my bathroom and take a couple of photos. I think I made about 35, 40-ish photos, and these are the 22 that we're going to take a look at a bit closer and talk about abstract photography and talk about minimal photography. So what you see here is playing around with shapes and colors, and it takes a bit. Why does it take so long to load the preview? So shapes and colors. The interesting bit about abstract photography is to go beyond the object reality. So the first glance, I don't know if you could have immediately guessed what this is without having the information that I shot this in a bathroom, right? So this is the underside, the put up a toilet lid, right? So the bumper of a toilet lid. What I found interesting are the colors, a very blue, very strong blue color, and the mirroring of the white dot here, and these curves, and the white resembling the white in the background. It's not really completely straight, but well, doesn't matter. So I found that interesting. I don't know if that is a photo that I will use. So here's I found that some of the tiles on my wall, I'll need to repaint them, I guess. So the paint is, but it's because bathroom is it's always very humid, right? So the paint peels easily. I found that interesting. Very minimal, I guess. So it's focusing on the peeling paint and on the tiles here. Very high key, but on the other hand, quite contrasty. So these are the tiles on the floor. So reduced, very reduced to the lines, right? Lines and shapes. I tried to find a dynamic composition in this one. Same again, tiles. These are like on the how do you say, at the wall where I have this edge on the wall. So different shades of gray here. Also very simplistic, very minimal composition in this shot. Again, peeling paint. So this is just the window, very minimal, I guess, also pretty abstract. We can try something. In the develop module of Lightroom, we can go to the tone curve and just invert the tone curve and see what happens. Oopsie. Or you can do stuff like that as well. But I want to invert it. Why doesn't it work? So inverted, and now we have this really strange color. And if we now go to black and white and raise the contrast and raise, well, the clarity is already raised a lot, we have this very almost leathery texture type of thing. I don't know if this counts as minimal. Well, it certainly is minimal to an extent, but it's definitely abstract. So maybe. I like that. That's just shot into my lamp, into my ceiling lamp. I like the I don't even would want, I wouldn't even want to do too much with that. Maybe we can raise the tone curve a bit, play around with the tone curve a bit, give it an even smoother look. I love how the smoothness of the lamp itself is mirrored in these concentric rings of the I don't know what it's called, lampshade. So I have two: landscape orientation and portrait orientation. Also, again, playing around with crops, right? Why not cropping? There's this kind of strange, I read that a lot, that people are so proud of cropped in camera. So what? Cropping later in post. Not only is this a very common thing in filmmaking, so that's basically what has been done for centuries, cropping later, but it's also, why limit yourself? Why not crop something later, play around with that later? So cupboard, I don't think that I want to do anything with that. I really like that. It's very minimal, very abstract, and there's still a lot to discover. Textures, patterns, I like that. So I don't say what it is, but you probably know it, what it is. It's the same thing as here. That's probably almost a bit too clear what it is. So maybe we can do something with that. Yeah, the tone curve is a good thing. Bringing down the dark parts and bringing up the lighter parts, so creating more contrast. I like the blue in this one, so it gives it a very rough, and yeah, I like that. Cool. Also, I don't have to say what it is. I like it. Comparatively minimal. And definitely abstract. So also here, very minimal, very abstract. That, or definitely abstract. So I don't know if that counts as a minimal. I thought this is a good idea, just laying on the ground and photographing upwards, because I have this bow or arc, however you want to call it, in my bathroom. Doesn't really work. So be gone. While that is something that I love, that is very clean and very pure, and maybe we can make it even cleaner and purer. And I raised, or I changed the temperature, right? The white balance temperature. So gave it a bit of warmish color and raising the contrast a bit. So, and there, it makes sense, by the way, to change the white balance and then converting to black and white, because I have to memorize that 71 130 13 7113, because you see we can change. I like that better. So let's do that like this. So after you converted your photo to black and white, play around with the white balance. It will always gives you a subtle change. So I like that. I really like that. I will use that. So again, tiles, and with in this case with water droplets. So as you see, I already made sort of a pre-development, and yeah, but I don't think we need to do too much with that. It's very simple, very minimal, but with the droplets still. Here's also very, very simple, very minimal, right? And I like that, and I certainly will use that, and will play around with this a bit. So you're raising contrast. I don't want to lose any information. We'll certainly convert it to black and white. Bring out the contrast. Always have this the highlight clipping in view, so that we don't accidentally clip something that we want to clip. But this is a cool shot. But maybe it works better in color. I don't know yet. Of course, there are millions of different ways how to do that, how to do abstract minimal photography. You don't have to lock yourself into the bathroom, right? You can do that anywhere, anytime. It's just about finding something that you want to take photos of, and it can be found anywhere. So this was my approach for this challenge. If you want to take part in the abstract challenge on Tumblr, if you have a Tumblr account, simply post your photos to your blog and either tag abstract challenge or mention us. That's easier for us, so we'll see it in the activities of our blog. Or of course you can submit your photo to abstract challenge. You can do that anytime. If you're not on Tumblr, if you don't have a Tumblr account and you still want to take part, we're currently working on a solution for that. We think about stuff, how to include you as well. One thing definitely that is possible is to mention me on Twitter, right? My Twitter handle is Vortex of Our Mind. The link is in the description, of course. My Twitter handle is in the description. And since I'm thinking about reactivating my Flickr account, this might be one way in the future as well. But well, we'll let you know in the next challenge. So this one's for today. Bye bye. Till next time. Talk about abstract photography. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, don't be dead. This is a dead parrot. What's happening? Okay. Let's start again. Screw that.